Bismillah, 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 Allah.
Our next speaker is somebody who survived 7/7, originally from Australia. She now lived in London since 1992, working previously for the Design Council. She's a fellow and trustee of many organizations and charities. In 2006, she was appointed ambassador for Peace Direct. She survived the 7/7 bomb blast, very close to the incident, but unfortunately suffered severe injuries. She's had to revisit her life, look at how she views the world and people around her. And her words of hope and courage have inspired thousands of people both here and across the world to believe in themselves and realize that we can all do peace. So please welcome to Living Islam to talk about Are You Mad About Peace, Dr. Gill Hicks.
Hello. How wonderful it is to be here today. And I must admit, I got a bit worried when I saw the big top that I might have to do some sort of trapeze, because as you can see, it's hard enough getting up the stairs. Indeed, what a lovely introduction. And I stand here not as a victim of the bombings in London on July the 7th, 2005, but as a survivor. And I think they're very different terms. And I look at my life indeed as a great gift, that my life was not nearly taken on that day, but instead I was given my life back, albeit I lost both legs as a result of the blast. So, indeed, as we just said in the introduction of rethinking life, I literally had to look at my life as a completely new idea of what it meant to go forward without the use of my lower legs. And something that, of course, is completely unimaginable, that in the time it takes to draw a breath, to click your fingers, my life changed forever on my way to work. Entitled today of Are You Mad? I started a not-for-profit charity a few years ago called M.A.D for Peace. And I thought it was quite interesting because, of course, a lot of people would expect me to be mad, to be angry, to be filled with hatred and bitterness. And yet, that simply does not exist. Am I angry? Of course. But I use anger as a positive motivator. Am I filled with hatred and bitterness? No. And I'm asked on many occasions of why? How can that be? How can I not hate? And I guess my answer is found in my rescue and the gift I was given and the lesson I was shown during my rescue. And on the morning of July 7, I was labelled literally as one unknown estimated female. I was without identity. And it was when I was in hospital and I'd come out of a coma and I was able to take in all that had happened and looked at this wristband that I realized that the brilliance of humanity is actually what had saved me. For people risked their lives to save one unknown estimated female. To them, it didn't matter what religion I was, if I believed in God at all. It didn't matter how much money I had or didn't have. It didn't matter. All that mattered was that I was a human being. And that lesson, that gift, spoke very loudly to me, because I realized that this is what I must talk about. This is what I must be the living proof of, that I am here because of the brilliance of humanity. And I never tire of talking about these people, the rescuers, as my role models in how to go forward. And indeed, in looking at how can I make a difference? If I'm blessed to have been given my life back, to have been given a second chance, how do I use that life wisely? How do I use that life to communicate passionately? And how do I use that life to lead by example, to do peace? Now, with my work, we talk about, imagine the world if peace was a verb, if peace was something that we all consciously did in our daily lives. Would that make a different world? Would we see different societies? Equally, a lot of what I do and talk about is the importance of empathy. If empathy was at the core of all we did, of all we thought, of how we acted, would we then be able to see a more peaceful world? So I guess what I'm often asked is peace actually possible? And I think when we start to look at it from a theory of, well, if it's something that we did, if we made a conscious choice to do peace, then absolutely it's possible. For the greatest peace is the peace within yourself. And if you know peace within yourself, then that puts you in a place of great confidence. And from a position of great confidence, are we able to be in the world? Are we able to stand along others who are of difference, who have a different opinion? And from a position of great confidence, are we able to empathize with people who perhaps have a different opinion than ourselves? And I think that is a great place for us to start, of looking at how our role and our individual responsibility within our communities is of utmost importance if we are to build and to co-create a society in which we can all live, and rather than use the word peace, in which we can all live in confidence. Part of the privilege of being here today is to see sharing, and to share wisdom, and to share stories, and to just be together. And I think the value of that across all societies is what we must be encouraging, to dispel ignorance and to encourage and promote. And I won't use the word tolerance. I think tolerance is perhaps something that I know myself now as being in a minority group, as a disabled person. I don't want to be tolerated by society. I want to be accepted for who I am. So I would like to then say to promote an acceptance and an embracing of all peoples in our communities. And there's a lot that we're doing here today. There's workshops this afternoon that we're doing, so I hope that indeed I see many of you again through the course of the day. Thank you so much, and I wish you a wonderful Friday. Thank you.
I think Dr. Gill deserves another round of applause.